Jonathan Alcohol.
Jonathan.
I'm gonna give you my experience, strength, and hope, guys, and hopefully be a little bit concise about this. I really am just so grateful to be here and have so many of my dear friends here that I've known over the years. I'm just, like I said, just so filled with gratitude that I'm just sitting here. I want to thank this group. Where is Tony? You know, I thought that was the secretary.
That's Tony.
Morphed into Louis.
Tony will be back next week.
Thank Louis and the guys for having me come out and share. I know Tony's okay. I have talked to him, but and this is one of the things, one of the gifts we get from this program. We can go other places and stay sober. We get to live this life that we never dreamed of, and that's my experience, guys. It wasn't too long ago. I've been shown over and over and over of the power of the steps in AA and the power of the fellowship. How it intervenes and interrupts a crazy, derelict, no good for nothing drunk like myself, and we get this restoration. And here we read the 12 principles, we do our normal readings, and here we are on in March, and we're on step 3 and the third tradition. And so on step 3, here we are, we're making this decision to turn our will and our lives over to our higher power. And I've had this opportunity to be able to do step 3 with several men in the program, and I'm completely blown away at the transformation they get. And it's more than just they've been able to, they've got this immediately. They seem like they have a new freedom and happiness. They've got more clarity and wisdom that they've had before. And I literally, it's like it's miraculous to see people like come to life. Not only that, because we've done step 1. We understand that we're unmanageable and I'm powerless. It's like what Patrick was talking about. I was so powerless and I was so filled with unmanageability, and that's how I operated. Everybody I came in contact with when I was drinking, I harmed them. I lied, cheated, and stole. Like I said, it was just complete dare. I was unemployable. People would hire me expecting me to be able to be productive. Oh, he'll do the job, no matter what it was. And I always did it half-assed. And like a lot of, I got fired a lot. I became unemployable, and of course, I was unable to be in relationships with my family, with a nice gal, or with people that I'd run into. It's like, because it's like I lied, I cheated, and I stole everywhere I went. And I learned how to operate like that. Even with multiple DUIs and crashing numerous cars over and over and over. That's just, and we get used to it. That's the crazy thing about it. And it wasn't until it just trips me out to see anybody get 30 days of sobriety or 60 days. I'm just like, I'm in awestruck. And to see somebody take a birthday, I'm just so moved by it today. I've had several events in my life that have been really, and I've been able to stay sober through them, which is kind of weird, for an alcoholic of my type. But, recently, the power of the fellowship and the men in AA, they truly have saved my life over and over and over. When I first came into AA back in 1987, I was living in the valley, living in a shitty apartment in Van Nuys, and I just racked up my 3rd DUI, and I started. My roommate was going, you might want to consider going to AA, and you get desperate enough, you might try it. Well, I started going to this really good group over there, and there's some, they got a great speaker meeting on Friday night. There's like 150 people, and great, it was fantastic. And I started to go to some of the other meetings. And I remember going, getting cleaned up and going to this Friday night meeting once and going through the back door, and I see one of the guys, the guys with time, and I go, hey, first thing I say to him walking through the door, and he's being a greeter, I say, hey, where are the good looking ones? There are a lot of good looking gals at this meeting. And that my respect, where are the good looking gals at? And he just like looks at me, and he just goes, I can see how important sobriety is to you. Man, it just, 2x4 across the forehead. And and how much time did I have? I had maybe a week. And, I might have gone out and bought a 40 after that meeting. And, I thought it was a good idea to drive to Santa Monica and try to meet, the next, future misses. We learn how to operate like that. And we think it's okay. We justify our behavior in every way, shape, and form. Oh, I just had a bad run of luck with those cops. I'm the kind of alcoholic that takes a beating when he gets pulled over for a DUI. It's like they're so pissed off at me, and it's like they break out the billy clubs and give me a good beating and say, don't come back. But you think you'd learn, no? It'll be different this next time. No, we just keep doing it. But like I was saying, that guy that called me out on my sobriety and what was important to me, he knew I was struggling. He knew I couldn't get 2 and 3 weeks together. And he also, he knew that I had a job. And, and he found out, that I had insurance. And when I was in a 2-week, blackout and drunk, periodic, and everybody's calling me, worried about me. My employer's calling about, and trying to find out. This is the day of the pager, by the way. And the telephone at your house. Sure enough, this guy, I had this guy say, hey man, why don't you, we got this, you should go check out this recovery center, over in Woodland Hills. You should just go check it out. And I got the courage up over the weekend to get cleaned up, and then we wore suits everywhere. I got cleaned up and I put my suit on, and I was gonna go check out this treatment center, and then I was gonna, go into work and get honest with them. I was going to tell them, hey, this is, this is what's been, and what I mean by getting honest, I was going to lie to them about, I had to go to Washington, D.C. and, and see, the head of the Pentagon about, some bullshit that I was going to make up. I go in and I do, I go to this treatment center, and they give me this really great tour. Oh, and there's these guys going, oh, you don't, and they go, are you an alcoholic? And I said, because some of the guys are looking at me like I was a therapist or a doctor. And that's the way I always lied and cheated and stole. And I got ready to leave, and I said, and what do we say as an alcoholic? This could save my life at that very moment. But what do we say? You know what? Are you guys going to be here next month? I got some stuff to take care of first. And I said, I got to go to work now. This has been fantastic. Keep up the good work. That's what I'm doing. And they're like, and then one of the doctors looks at me and goes, you're not, you've been admitted here. We've already called your work knows you're here. And I was just like,
loosen up your tie.
I was like, oh my gosh. And this was the men in the program. They got me into that treatment center, and it stuck. It did. It worked. And I've been able to, stuff like this has happened to me. And this is like the power of this group and power of AA. And walking into this new way and this new life. Because, the way I was, what is it when we come in here? We're completely filled with selfishness, self-centeredness, and self-seek. That's how I operated. But slowly but surely, and you guys held me by the hand and let me know it's okay, it's going to be different. You're going to learn how to become rigorously honest. You're going to learn, something about this higher power. He's going to be more than just name only. And you're going to learn how to trust him and lean into him when things get tough. And in my life, things have gotten tough. You stick around long enough, you'll bury your parents. And you'll get to close up the house and that kind of stuff and get into, fights with your family, your other siblings and stuff about. I've got this older brother, for some reason, he was just he thought my folks had gold bars buried in the backyard, and there was nothing, there's a few bucks in it. He's like, I know there's God, you're crazier than I am. But that's, that's the crazy shit, that we have to walk through. And I get to walk through that, sober and honest. And if you stick around here, I got a kid that, got hurt in school, and, the doctor said, hey, no more football for you. And, kid, he's just a kid, and he doesn't understand that, and he drank himself, he's no longer the rock star, the big games on Saturday, and things are changing. I gotta tell you that, the men in this room and the guys that came alongside me in November, I was in the hospital and on the verge of dying, and the doctors are just freaking out, going, we don't know why you're even breathing. And here's two guys from AA standing there. No one else. Two guys from AA. Here comes a team of doctors going, this is what we're going to do, Jonathan. And the head surgeon just goes, you have survived, man. The Widowmaker, we don't even know why you're alive. This is incredible. And all these doctors are scratching their head going, this guy? What's up with him? Why him? Out of all the people that come through here and pass away on us. And the doctor says, hey, dude. And these guys from AA are sitting there going, they're starting to realize how, dangerous and fatal this, situation is. And the doctor says, hey, this procedure we're going to do is dangerous. And a lot of people don't survive it, but we think you're going to be okay. What do we, being in AA, we're used to rolling the dice. It's like, well, let's get it on. But the whole time, the men in AA, this group in particular, were alongside me. As soon as you guys heard that I was sick and in the hospital, what do you guys start doing? You start reaching out to me in the hospital. You guys start praying. I can feel your prayers. You kept me going. These guys, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible experience of being in that hospital for 7 days. No sleep for 3 days. No food for 3 days. No water for 3 days. I couldn't move for 20 hours. Just stay still. Don't move. While they put this fuel injection cleaner into you. Like, you're going to be okay. Just hang on. But, here I am. A few months later, alive. And you guys were alongside me the whole way. You lock arms with me. You guys bring a meeting up to my house when I need it desperately. I need the program in my life today. That's what you guys have brought me. And here we are on step 3. Out of the big book, page 84. We've entered into the world of the Spirit. We've entered into this when we walk through the door. Our next function is to grow in understanding that effectiveness. That means we have to take action. I have to enter. I have to do something, right? I have to make a decision to turn my will and my life over. How does this happen for a goofball derelict like me? It's only by the guidance of you guys in this room. You guys lead me along gently. And sometimes, you guys got to call me out. Hey, you're fucking up, Jonathan. Don't do that. Be honest. Be kind and loving to your wife who you put through hell. Be good to your kids. Be kind and loving to other men in AA that need your help. Be a service. Be a good GSR. It's like, what? Of all things, me? Oh, I'm just blown away. This is not an overnight matter. For the new guys, this is not an overnight matter. It's taken me a long time to get here. I've been able to bury my sister-in-law, world-class runner, marathoner, 45, just drops dead. My nephew, who's only 30 years old, guy's like wound up steel, Forest Service firefighter, smoke jumper, tough as nails, just drops dead. I can come alongside my family, my brother, and just be there. When I was drinking and using, they wouldn't even bother to call me because they know I'm more of a pain in the ass than I am to, what's up, what's Jonathan doing now? But today they call me and they rely on me. And that's what we get in this room. We become men of character. We become men of principles if we do these steps. And I'm just so grateful to be here with you tonight. Thanks for hearing me a little bit, and thanks for letting me be a service to your meeting.
Right on, John.